Hey guys, it's Mitch. How's it going? We're back for another cover of Blood Force. This is, I suppose, a variant cover for Blood Force number 4. So this is the Sin City variant. So just before we get into this, if you enjoy the channel, if you feel like you might want to help out a little bit, go subscribe on my Patreon. Links are in the description. So yeah, this was based off of, well, I mean, this is not really based off of anything specific. It's not, this is one of the few variant covers that I've done that hasn't needed a reference of some kind. This is because last October, we're getting to be around that time again, aren't we? But last October, I took part in an Inktober thing where I was drawing all sorts of different characters, and I decided to do one in a Frank Miller-esque Sin City style. And I had to do it real quick because I had to do it in one day, and it was not easy. Since then, I've always, and that was the first time I've tried that style. Since then, I've always wanted to try and get back to it and plan it out a little better and see if I can come up with something a bit more interesting. So that's kind of what this turned into. It's kind of loosely based off of that pose there. This is the pose out of Deathblow number 2. So it is kind of a halfway point between Frank Miller's style and Jim Lee's version of Frank Miller's style. Or at least that's what I'm going for, where it's a bit more Frank Miller than what Jim Lee was doing. So you can see here, I'm going for much more detailed pencils than I usually do, trying to get as close to a finished product as I can, really, because this kind of thing does actually take a fair bit of planning. So what we're going to be doing is doing the shadows as closely as I can, basically, and then when I get to the inking stage, just leaving out the holding lines, or trying to, at least. In some cases, I kind of go for a bit of a mashup genre, in that I'll have a little bit of a white outline or something, so that the black doesn't completely melt into the background. I'm not entirely sure if that's the correct way to go, but that's what we're going to try anyway. So this part here, I mean, fairly simple, at least. Well, until you get to the expression, because then now we're trying to stay away from holding lines, so already this is becoming a little bit problematic. The mouth is fine, at least, and that's most of his expression. But the rest of it is, just kind of trying to get the shadows in there and not doing outlines. It's actually kind of difficult. And now, just trying to get everything all around here. And this is the Popo that we saw at the end of issue 3, who was all tooled up with ammo and weapons that he'd picked up out of the Clerg Armory. And so he's, in addition to, he's got his badge there. He's also got, belts full of bullet casings. He's got at least one there, and he's got another one around his thigh. He's also got just a leather strap with like a Celtic, the kilt pin, for no real good reason, other than I don't know. I like how those look. Always have. And he's got swords. Except not in this particular drawing. I don't even think I remember to put swords on him. That might have confused things. It might have made things a bit more difficult to figure out what's going on, actually. So maybe that was a good idea. And so you can see here, no holding lines at the top of the shoulders. There are some at the bottom here. Well, it's more just the shadow, though. So I think that's correct. It's a tough thing to try and pull off. It is something I want to try and do again now that I've done this. Maybe I got like one or two, I think just the one issue actually left in the Clerg's ship. I had the idea of when they realized that Popo was on the ship and that the crew is in danger, they go to black and white alert. Because why would they go to red alert? They're aliens. All right, some more shadows bleeding into each other. Starting to get the hang of these bullet casing things. And you can see that with the veins on the arms and everything, that's a bit more detail than you might expect on a Frank Miller thing. Maybe from like Sin City 1, the Marv story. There are elements there where, there's a bit more rendering on everything. I think I was mostly going for Dame to Kill For era, but because that's my particular favorite era. And this background thing here, was a bit of a challenge because I wanted him to have something that would kind of work with the no holding line and kind of accent it. So I didn't want to do just all black or all white. I wanted to do a mix of some kind. So some elements would fade into the background, some elements wouldn't. So I came up with this kind of just grid back, like, it's kind of, grates are popular on this channel. So it's a little grady. And yeah, so some of it will kind of blend against the no holding lines, and that'll give him definition. Others, the white spots will sometimes go against a shadow. That'll define it that way. And then other times it'll just, like, there's still parts where the shoulder can blend in absolutely to the white stripe right above it here. So I think that looks pretty cool. I think that was a pretty good solution for a background. Trying to get more veins in there. Always more veins. Not sure why we decided to do this. I always say we, like it's somebody other than me. It's just me. Not sure why I decided to do this week. I think it was basically just I had the idea and I wanted to do it before I forgot. And just, I really wanted to do it. When you get the idea, it's like, I'm going to do a Sin City cover. And it's like, okay, but I'm going to wait 3 months before I finish the issue to do it. No, I kind of want to do it now. So let's do it now. And we're most of the way through. Yeah, this is a bit of a tough pose. You can see like how much it's blending into itself. So like putting in that line at the bottom there of white to make it stand out against the backgrounds, I feel is kind of necessary because it otherwise it can just kind of get lost in the detail where you're not sure what you're looking at. Sometimes that's fun, and sometimes it's just a little frustrating. So I'm trying to kind of ride that line and get one of those classic Frank Miller guns in there that, don't make any kind of fucking sense, like in world or whatever. And I've got the big old blade on the side for no reason, which I'm pretty sure is a Frank thing. And I like these pouches that I was able to come up with. Those are pretty cool. The folds on the pants here. The one on the left, so his right leg, looks pretty good. The one on the right, his left leg, not so much. I think on his right leg, I was looking more at a reference. The left one, I was kind of riffing off of what the right one was doing, and it didn't end up working so well. In fact, he actually looks like he's got a little bit of that cricket leg shit going on. So that's not too good. But I will fix that up at least somewhat. And yeah, this is, the texture here is basically Marv's pants from when they're breaking out of the farm after they've been captured. Which, I don't know, I love that that's most of the look I was kind of stealing for this bit here from Sin City. So slightly later from the first series, maybe. Don't mind how these boots ended up looking either. I wasn't too sure exactly what I was going to do for them. And I like how that ended up looking. But you can see how like the cloak, the leather coat that's acting as a cape is standing out against the background. In some parts and other parts, it's just kind of blending into the white stripe. Like, I love how that looks. I definitely want to keep trying this style. It's very cool. The clerk here, I was interested to see how it would turn out because I wasn't sure if they were designy enough to really work in a high contrast style. I think they do. I think it worked out pretty well. I kind of like how these the fins on their back ended up looking too, actually. It's a bit, I don't want to say low effort, but it's not the most well thought out shot here of Cleric's soldier, I suppose. It's pretty good. It works okay. They like Frank likes his straight on shots for Sin City. There were plenty around the period in the first series that I was looking at where you get villains just walking straight towards the camera. So it's like, all right, we can do that. Sure. And then I get the idea in my head and I'm just going to do it no matter what, right? and still holding on to these guns and deciding that these are the ones we're sticking with. I'm not sure what the actual cover to this issue is going to look like now. That, like, that theoretically should be trying to top this. The actual cover for the issue. This is supposed to be. This should be like a variant. I wouldn't think any of the covers should be more of a black and white look exactly. It works okay. I mean, works okay. It works pretty well. But I don't know. I just said I was thinking of it as a variant. Yeah, okay, see, managed to fix that leg there. And that's it for the cover. There we go, for Blood Force number 4, one of the covers anyway. So yeah, I mean, that turned out pretty freaking great, I think. In terms of trying out the Frank Miller style, kind of a complete success, I think. And I want to try more now. And keep looking for excuses to try and go to black and white alert. It's not the easiest thing to do. Although, the one thing about this page was extremely fast. I think I got the whole thing done in, I want to say, like 3-4 hours. Yeah, like just over 4 hours. It was fit around a whole bunch of other stuff. But like, that's a shockingly quick cover for me. Well, maybe not. Thinking about the other variant covers I did for the last issue. So like the Hawkstab Wolverine cover and the Popo, whatever the Green Lantern thing was. I don't think either of those took too long, really. So interesting. Maybe a large part of what's taking up so much time on these pages is just figuring shit out, because I don't tend to do very detailed pencils beforehand. But if I have a very clear idea of what I want to do, then it seems to go a fair bit quicker. Anyway, it helps if you use a whole lot of black, though. So there's that, too. But that's going to do it for this one. So thanks very much for watching, guys. If you like this video, please hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notification so you know when the next one's coming out. Go over and subscribe on my Patreon. It gives you early access to everything I do, from the Blood Force stuff to the YouTube videos, as well as some Patreon-exclusive content. You can also follow me on Instagram and DM me there for commissions, and you can join the Blood Force Discord server. Anyway, that's going to do it. Thanks again for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.